Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec BITS episode. Couple things to start off the episode. We've got new merch. That means actual Out of Spec sweatshirts that you'll be seeing me wear in every episode. So plenty of other stuff, t-shirts, stickers, coffee mugs, you name it. Head to shop.outofspecstudios.com. Second thing, you're going to wonder what I'm driving. I'm driving a new Hyundai IONIQ 9, which is a great 3-row, very premium for the price electric SUV. And I'm driving this Hyundai IONIQ 9 in spirit because I have a friend of mine who you may recognize from other episodes on this channel and others who's trying to buy a IONIQ 6 used. With the depreciation of electric cars happening, especially for cars coming off lease, there are some amazing buys that you can have in the secondary market for used electric cars. And our friend Lacey, who's been on the channel a bunch, is looking for an IONIQ 6. If you may remember, she drove that car in the I-90 surge across the country with her teammates from Seattle to Boston, and she was blown away with its road tripping performance and quality, and she's looking for an IONIQ 6 used of her own. She set herself a budget of $25,000, including all taxes and fees and everything else, and she's asked for our help to help find her a car. And it's actually something my dad's going to be focusing on more in his retirement, is helping our friends and maybe even you guys, some announcements coming, to buy new cars and used cars and handle a lot of the dealer negotiation. And you know, Lacey was like, let's go. I found the right car. We found it for her. She really liked this car. And man, did a deal just completely fall apart on us today. And I wanted to talk about that experience, why buying a car from a dealership has to be so frustrating. So let's talk about this particular deal. And then, of course, I'm sure at some point soon she'll be buying a car, and we'll have that update for you either on this channel or the reviews channel. So I can't remember if it was me or my dad, but we found a 2023 IONIQ 6 for sale at Checkered Flag Hyundai in Virginia Beach, Virginia. It's a couple hundred miles away from the track, a little bit less actually. It's like a 2-hour drive. Lacey's driving my Spark Electric while she's looking for a new car. And we were like, this is the perfect car. It's the right spec. It's... is that truck stuck in a ditch back there? If he's still there when I come back, we'll have another video coming. I'll grab the Rivian and pull him out of the stuck ditch. I think we can make that happen. She was trying everything here, putting stuff under the tires, and yeah, man, it's one hell of a deep hole, isn't it? So let's see if we can just pull her out. 4-low with the rear diff locked. I'm gonna back it up just to make sure we're all in line here. And off the parking brake, there we are. I'm gonna roll down the window. Let's load it up and see if we can pull it out.
Maybe straighten your wheel just a bit. Yep, looks good right there. Yep.
We got her unstuck. Hell yeah, that's awesome. You know, we were like, cool, black, gray interior, looks awesome. Car had like 30,000 miles, and it was listed for $22,300 and a bit dollars. My dad talks to them, they send over numbers, and it turns out they're a one price, no negotiation dealership. Now, on the surface of it, that seems like they're doing their customers a good favor. And things did seem really good with this dealership. There was no additional add-ons, which meant they were not forcing you to buy window tint, extended warranty, interior protection package, etc., etc. And that's always a real no-no. And you never want to go for the additional add-ons at a dealership unless there's something very specific that you're looking for. And that really should only happen on the off chance. And so, again, things seemed good. While the car was a one-price car, they weren't willing to negotiate even a penny. My dad and I both agreed, hey, this car's priced pretty well. It looks good, clean, everything. Let's go with it. Let's get Lacey into this new this used IONIQ 6 for, it was like $21,900 or $22,300, and with taxes and fees and everything included, they had a $1,000 dealer fee, which is quite a bit. We're out the door for just under 25 grand. They sent over the numbers on the car to my dad, including some expected financing terms, and on the surface of it, you'd be good to go. We told the dealership, hey, everything seems good. We appreciate you being transparent. We love the idea that you're not adding any forced ads on the car and not even marking up the finance rate. So we called the dealer the next day, as we promised, to say, yep, we talked to Lacey. She's ready to go on this car. Let's make it happen. We found the right deal, and I'll go over with her and we'll film a video. And actually Lacey calls them, and then they give Lacey totally different numbers than they gave us. And we're like, what? And so somehow overnight, the car's price increased by $400. And Lacey was like, the numbers aren't matching what you gave me, Kyle and Dave. And we're like, huh, that's weird. They already sent us the numbers on the car. And yeah, turns out they raised the price $400 overnight. Now you would think, okay, pricing is dynamic. Maybe there's more interest in IONIQ 6, and for whatever reason, the market, used electric cars are hot, so the prices went up. Okay, we can understand that. But they had already sent the numbers to us, so we should be locked in at the previous pricing that was sent, within 24 hours, or maybe even closer to 12 hours of when we last chatted with them. And it turns out they were not willing to budge. They said, look, we're a one price store. We give you our best price right up front. And I was like, yes, you did give us your best price right up front, and then you raised it. So I called the salesperson. I said, look, I'm sure there's no ill intention here, but we really want to talk to your manager. And he's like, I don't actually have a sales manager. I'm like, what kind of dealership doesn't have a sales manager? I said, okay, well, you must have a GSM. So let me talk to the general sales manager. He said, yes, we do have a general sales manager. So I said, okay, have your general sales manager call me. Then his sales manager calls me, which he told me he didn't have and didn't exist. And then I was like, dude, I'm talking to the guy, and I'm like, you're not the general sales manager, but your salesperson told me you were. And it turns out that they don't call them sales managers, they call them team leads, which is the same thing as a sales manager at this dealership. And I was talking to him. I said, look, dude, very simple. You sent us numbers on the car just a few hours ago, the previous day. We are ready to rock and roll. We feel good about it. We appreciate you doing everything, not adding ads. Seems like you're a pretty reputable dealership. You have a bunch of cars. Just honor the pricing you told us, and we're ready to go. And he's like, no, I can't do that. We're a one price store. We give you the best price up front. I said, yes, you did. And now we don't have your best price. And he's like, well, market conditions are shifting and so on and so forth. We're raising the price $400. There's nothing we can do about it, and you've got to move on. And so, look, it is in the dealership's complete fair and moral and legal right to do whatever they want to do before we agree in writing under contract for a deposit or to hold the vehicle. And in full transparency, we did not give them a deposit. They could have sold the car if someone walked in. That was a risk we took. And that was a risk that we lost, that we didn't lock the car up yesterday when the price was lower. On the flip side, if the dealership lowered the price overnight, we would have been ecstatic. That would have been amazing. A one price store lowering the price. But he said, due to the increased demand in the car, where the demand, the price went up. So all I'm writing to tell you or saying to this is just to say the process of buying a car is so incredibly frustrating. Not only is it incredibly frustrating when you buy a new car, it's even more frustrating when you go and buy a used car, because some dealers haggle, some dealers don't. And even the dealers that don't haggle seem to price their cars at a variable rate that it's just is what it is at that point in time. And that is just something that no consumer should ever have to deal with. I understand pricing fluctuates, but you would expect a dealership, especially within just a few hours of sending numbers, to hold their word for that number. So really the moral of the story is a one-price store isn't really a one-price store. And a dealership that haggles sometimes maybe is the better way to go. And I guess my question for you after hearing this story is, especially as maybe Out of Spec looks to get into other businesses, do you like the idea of negotiating a used car? Or do you like the idea of having a fixed price? And if you like the idea of having a fixed price, at what point in time after the dealership sends you numbers in the car, do you think it's fair for that dealership to then change the price on you? Do you think it's fair for them to say, oh, 10 minutes after we sent you numbers, by the way, the price is up $1,000? Nothing we can do about it? Does that seem fair? Is overnight reasonable? Is it this offer should be valid for 1 day or 7 days? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm certainly not complaining, and I'm not saying that the dealership is in the wrong. I'm not saying that we are in the wrong or in the right. All I'm saying is that buying a car is a stressful and oftentimes unfair feeling process. And I think this process here of trying to find Lacey and IONIQ 6 at a good deal for a solid car is reminding me of my frustrations of working with dealerships. Don't forget, I used to sell cars for a living back in high school and early college. That was my job. And so I have nothing but respect for car salesmen, and I know the grind they have to go through. And I know how hard it is for a dealership to make money on the front end. A lot of the money they make is on the back end and through, service situations. So sometimes it is worth it for them to lose money on a deal to then get the back end service income. I think there's some great services out there that are helping consumers, such as Tommy from Delivered Service. I think you'll see Dave offering something that will be really helpful to you guys as well. I'm excited to share that. But all I can say is that was an incredibly frustrating experience from our side. Whether or not you're right or wrong, I got Lacey all excited about this car. I'm like, look, this is great. We can go and get it. And by the way, we still could have gone and bought that car. It just didn't feel right to support a business that just raised the price $400 overnight for no apparent reason, because there's more interest in the car, which again, we are the ones who are interested. Let me know what you think in the comments below of all of this. Do you want to hear more car buying, car selling stories? It's a part of the car business I love so much, but never actually make content around, which is buying and selling cars. And personally, I love the negotiation process. I think it's really fun to cut through the BS, figure out who the good dealers are, the bad dealers are, and ultimately find my friends, my family, our viewers, the best possible car at the best possible price at that point in time. And of course, make it an easy buying experience for them. And I think stand in on business. Don't do business with dealerships that make you feel dumb or make you feel slimy. Work with people that you want to work with. That's always been my methodology with car buying. I have walked away from many good deals just on principle of not liking who I'm negotiating or working the deal with. I am all for a dealership making money when they deserve to make some money, but not every dealership deserves to make money, in my opinion, and I'm happy to argue all of these points below. Anyway, I could talk all day about this. If you want more car buying and selling content, for now, go watch Tommy at Delivered's channel. It's just fascinating. It's so much fun and it's so entertaining. I'm going to enjoy driving this IONIQ 9, and pretty soon, one way or another, Lacey's going to be driving her IONIQ 6, which is a fantastic car that unfortunately comes with an annoying buying experience. Thanks so much for watching. See you in another one again soon. Bye-bye.